Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is my final game of the I5 team tournament, round 3. And I'm going to do this game a little bit differently than most of the games I've discussed and talked about. I'm not going to talk about errors in the game until the very end. Instead, I'm going to try and say what happened and then have the most important part of this cast of this game happen at the very end. So to get right in it, it is Goreshade 4 against Fiona the Black. No, sorry, not Fiona. Ashlynn. Ashlynn, she's in Llaise's Resistance, and the die roll is 1 to go first. Before that, my opponent's pair is Fiona the Black and this Ashlynn list. Both of them are control feats. And I've got Goreshade 4, and I've got my standard Viros 2 list. Well, new standard that has the trident in it. I still debate if that should be. It's like a love-hate relationship. But I drop Goreshade 4. He drops Ashlynn. He wins the die roll. He lets me go first. He chooses the side that he is on now. And I go first, and I move up like so. I cloud right here just because I don't want anything to get shot that can't be shot. And I put Dauntless Resolve on these Sentinels right here. His turn. He moves up. He's got a unit of Thorn gun mages right there, and he's got a unit of Thorn gun mages right there. They have Prowl, and I don't have any ways of removing stealth except for my AoE 4 can remove stealth. His unit of Cinerators is right here behind the forest in the center. This is the only burning patch. The rest of the forest is nice, healthy, beautiful woods that you can party in and play in and have a good time in. Just stay away from the center burning part. And objectives. I believe I did rerolls, and I think he did Eyeless Sight, but not really that relevant. Ashlynn is more or less right here. So, my turn. I am worried about... I recognize now at this point in the game that the Thorn gun mages are a problem for me because with sniper and 2 shots, they can blow apart Sentinels. So, over here, I make a cloud wall like this, and I move my Sentinels up behind it so I can take some territory and be able to clear that zone the following turn. I feel like there's nothing I can put in the zones that can't be killed, so there's no real point to really committing to the zones. It's just a really painful thing I'm going to have to experience, and then I got to feat after he feats and crack back. Over here, I put a Harpy right there and a Ghost Sniper behind the Harpy, knowing that the Thorn gun mages are going to have to roll 7s to hit the Ghost Sniper, and that'll be less Thunderbolt shots, and there's a good chance that they won't be able to Thunderbolt the Harpy out of the zone. And we have a... also, I ran up 1 Sentinel up here because I want him to trigger Vengeance. So here we are. And my intentions were to keep these guys kind of pretty far back from them. It was an eyeballed 16. It turns out it was not anywhere near 16. They were like 14 away, so they were easily in range for being shot to death. My opponent goes, and he ambushes Anastasia, comes over, kills the Ghost Sniper. I'm just going to go left to right. And then Ashlynn comes up to here. No, sorry, before Ashlynn. Eilish comes over here and does the upkeep removal to get rid of Dauntless Resolve off of this unit of Sentinels. This unit of Sentinels also has a soulless escort on it, but Ashlynn comes up within melee range of the Sentinel, puts Distraction on the Sentinel after popping feet, and then kills the Sentinel and repos back to right behind the forest to a safe place. Then these 3 gun mages just run and chill out right here behind the forest. All 3 of them in the zone to score since I have nothing in there. This Mule sacrifice movements and shoots its Steam Lobber Shop, and surprise, surprise, with a boosted shot and Ashlynn's feet, it crits, which is pretty reliable because it's like 5 dice, select 3 that are gonna crit. Pretty easy to hit too. and pretty much all these Sentinels die and get thrown. Oh, sorry, that's incorrect. They get thrown this way, and the Hydra gets thrown this way as well. And yeah, that's pretty bad. So that whole ball of Sentinels just gets trashed. And then over here, Thorn Gunmage walks up, thunderbolts this Harpy back, shoots this Sentinel dead. Other two Thorn Gunmages walk up, and they cap like 3 or 4 Sentinels. So I lost a bunch of Sentinels over there. And then Cinerators walk up and do their mini feed into shield wall, and they basically just cram into my face. Toro runs right there into the zone. Other Toro runs right here. This Toro runs to right here. And that is pretty much where turn ends up. Oh, and there's a Gobber Tinker behind the Toro over here, making it so I can't, reverse Thunderbolt knock it out of the zone. I don't have an Anastasia this time, so that's pretty dang freaking effective. Also, the little turret has cover, which makes him even better than a Ghost Sniper. So that's really bad. He scores 1, 2, 3. He scored 3 points. It's mission critical at this point, and it's really bad. I recognize that I need to score points. I don't think I have the resources to score this zone. I just can't I don't feel like I can get Sentinels. I don't think I can kill 2 Toros and all these Cinerators with the resources that I have at my disposal. So I don't think I can score that zone. And I also don't think I can score this zone because that back Gunmage back there has Prowl, and I have nothing that can get within 5 of him. I do think, though, that I can score this zone on the right. So I take my Chimera, and I run him all the way over here. And my Sentinels walk over here with their Vengeances, trying not to trigger countercharge. And for some reason, I thought distraction meant I could not charge. What it actually means is I can't make ranged attacks, and I have I couldn't give orders is what I thought. What it actually means is I have -2 Mat and Rat, and I can't do ranged attacks. Maybe it's not -2 Rat. I think it is, though. But I know it's -2 Mat. Now I know it's -2 Mat. So my Sentinels... My Sentinels go to right about here with a walk and a thing, and they start swinging on the gun mages. And, going from needing 7 stat to needing 9 stat, they surprise, do not kill this gun mage. So my Chimera, after the apparition, walks over to there and bops the Sentinel that's engaging this dude. And then Harpy walks over here and shoots down both of these Thorn gun mages, boosting to hit. I think one of them might have been engaged. I don't think I was able to get the full on engagement. And then Goreshade 4 walks over to here, pops feet, and arcs the Light of Wrath to try and kill that last gun mage, and it fails. And I still had a couple of Sentinels that I was planning on killing over here because I didn't think I could run them into the zone. I thought distraction was a lot bigger deal than what it really was. If I had known that, if I had known that it allowed me to charge, because without the charging, I can't walk my Sentinels to that flag basically without taking a counter charge and getting stuck right here, and then also needing Ghostly out of the 4. But now that I know that, I could have put them all right here out of counter charge range and then charged them onto that Toro, and even if they don't hit, they are contesting this zone and contesting that flag and making him do more work than he needed to. But anyhow, over here, my Light of Wrath on that last Thorn gun mage, it missed. So it deviated, did not kill that Thorn gun mage, so I'm not scoring that zone. And then I forget, after the Sentinels go, I have a Harpy over here that could go contest this flag. Instead, I decide to shoot the Toro and push him back because he annoys me, and I do not want him that close and able to assassinate Goreshade, who's sitting roughly right about there. So then, these Sentinels and Hydra, using flank and some other stuff, pretty much kill all the Cinerators. Ghost Sniper, I believe, shoots down a Thorn Gun Mage. And, oh yeah, one Sentinel charged over here and killed Anastasia when I was killing all the Cinerators. This Harpy walks up into the zone and I think shoots both these gun mages or something like that. It shoots down some peoples. Sentinels are just trying to get into places to be relevant and annoying. So, on my opponent's turn, he scores 1 from the flag because I didn't contest it with this Harpy like I should have. And he passes clock and scores another one. And I think he tried to clear some zones so they could score more points. But we ended up right here. And, yeah. Pretty crushing defeat. Really. Pretty bad. This is this is how it ends up. Yeppers. So, now let's talk about what could have been done differently. Because I feel like the game was lost. Well, first, before I talk about what could have been done differently, I want to talk about the great play from my opponent. Chose the side that has these forests so he could take a safe place, and knowing his Thorn Gun Mages were going to be critical in destroying Sentinels, he set himself up for success with Thorn Gun Mages being able to blow apart pretty much anything that comes into the zone. They can Thunderbolt out Harpies, and they can shoot down Sentinels dead. No, most players would take their Cinerators or other models and run them for the gaps, looking for charges and such. The Cinerators from the beginning were always intended to gum me up, which is why they went right behind the forest. They didn't have charges. They were never going to get charges. They were supposed to, that was his plan from the beginning. We never talked about this, but it was set up so that they would just jam right into my face and leverage the scenario play. The Thorn Gun Mages also scored this zone. He did great with the Gobber Tinker behind the Toro, so I couldn't Thunderbolt his Toro out of the zone. Kill the Sentinel, get rid of Dauntless Resolve, and do Distraction. Perfect on taking advantage of my one Sentinel right here. Then the way he leveraged his Toros, putting them all forward. Even if I killed him, it doesn't matter because the game is won on scenario. It was a very flawless scenario setup play. The Anastasia play, it was all executed. It was done quickly on clock. It was very clean, very precise, very well done. And now it's time to talk about the mistakes. Obviously, my opponent understood the matchup, the keys to victory, much better than I did. Knowing what I know now, the Thorn Gun Mages are a huge problem for the Sentinels. So I probably should have dropped Phyros 2 and played around the Thunderbolt game. I would have had better tools for playing into Ashlynn, and things would have been better, I think, in general. I also would have been more comfortable. This is third round and a little bit tired. I can move a little bit better with Phyros 2, and it's a little bit more forgiving, and I have shield guards. I have tools there. But I dropped Goreshade 2. He chose the perfect correct side. If I had recognized early on in this game that the Thorn Gun Mages were going to be such a problem for me, I went first, so I didn't see how he was going to deploy, but it really makes a lot of sense now. I needed to tighten up my clouds over... come back here. I needed to tighten up my clouds over here to keep all my Sentinels alive, because they need to get a lot of work done. And I needed to put something in this zone that couldn't be Thunderbolted out. And that is probably, I don't even know what. Maybe that zone just gets abandoned. I can't really do that and pull that off. But I got to put two things that are Thunderboltable. Maybe what it is I put a Harpy up in front, and then I put my Chimera behind the Harpy, and the Chimera is full on focus, so that it's a defense 15 out of 10 of the Thorn Gun Mages. And with his feet, he's probably going to hit me, but at least it makes it more difficult. I But yeah, my Sentinels needed to play this pocket right here. And on the other side of the board, I think I needed to make a wall of my important models. Or sorry, a wall of my medium bases and huge bases, and then put my Sentinels behind them. Since I can only cloud wall one side, I need to have some other method of protection for my Sentinels. And I can't just, run my Sentinels forward, because then they're all going to die. Like, he has the resources to just pull them pretty much all off the board. Or maybe I plan on that. Maybe I plan on losing all my Sentinels, and I pop my feet before he pops his feet, which is usually not a good idea in the defensive feet war. And I just plan on getting a ton of souls and trying to assassinate Ashlynn on her feet turn. I have a Hydra shot that can be taken outside of her control range, and I have an arc node that can be run in right at her. I can throw the Light of Wrath that will drop her defense by 2 to 15. But everything else is going to be suffering shots at her while under her feet. So I don't know if it's there. I always felt like I had to, and I think I still agree with this, I have to pop feet after her feet and then go for the spell assassination run. But it also doesn't help if I have no Sentinels for him to kill, and there's no reason to kill Sentinels, and I lose the game type situation. But I definitely need to do something to break out of my situation. And maybe what that is instead balling up all my Sentinels right here in the middle, and if he spreads his Thorn gun mages like this, I only send medium bases and heavies one way, and I send only Sentinels the other way. Because it's only 6 Sentinels of my 24 Sentinels, not counting flags, so 22 relevant Sentinels. He's going to kill 6 over there, but I'm still going to have Sentinels left over. I'm still going to have Sentinels that can get something done. And I don't think I can truly abandon the middle of the map like that, and I think then the worst situation is he runs Toros into my Sentinel's face and pops feet on me, and it gets real rough. And then he has all the tools to outplay me and beat me in the matchup, but I need to make it harder for him. I need to make him make harder decisions, and then if he doesn't do something perfect, or gives me a scenario point, or, just get myself to the next round. I failed to get myself to the next round at this spot. The longer, if I can just keep myself alive, that means there's another round of opportunities. There's another chance for me to make something happen in the game. There's a chance for his dice to crap the bed. There's a chance for my dice to go hot and do things that they shouldn't do. Or there's a chance to take low odds assassinations, or take low odds scenario plays, or things that might turn the game around. And that's what I needed to do. I needed to break out of the situation that I was in, and the first part of that is recognizing the situation I was in. I did not recognize the situation that I was in. I trundled up, and I planned on playing I looked at this forest. I looked at this forest and thought, I'm going to play my slow cloud wall game, either here, here, and here, or here, here, and here. And I'm going to explode out after his feet turn. And that just did not work. He can walk around my clouds, and he had the tools, and I misplayed my clouds. I really misplayed my clouds over here. I should have tightened them up and kept my Sentinels a little bit farther back if I'm not going to contest the zone anyways. And that would have made a pretty good difference for me being able to... I would have had about 6 more Sentinels over here, and maybe I would have been able to get something done. If I had not put that Sentinel up here for distraction, you can roll 4s on Ashlynn's feet turn. It's not nearly as likely as off of her feet turn. 4s are pretty consistent, but you can hit 4s on Ashlynn's feet turn, maybe like 1 and 3, 2 and 3, half the time, maybe less than half the time, but you can hit them. You can get some work done on a Toro. With that. And I can also use Light of Wrath to drop the Toro's defense if I really needed to. There are tools there if I'm not desperate to make a scenario play like I was. I couldn't use any of Goreshade's tools. The Cinerators should be pretty easy to melt. I can always Thunderbolt them out of base to base, and try and knock them down and fish for the crits on my Harpies. Ghost Snipers can shoot them up. I have tools to play into this matchup. I have opportunities, but I need to get those opportunities and not just be so desperate to scramble. And all that was in the setup and my deployment, I feel like. Once things were moving forward and he was running the game, and he really ran the game. And I think that's where this needed to go back to. Once I picked Goreshade 4 and once he went first. If I could have, I needed to go second, because then I can deny scoring and deny scoring on turn 2 and just get a little bit more game out of it. And maybe she has to pop feet on turn 2, and then I can just deny scoring on turn 2 and maybe get a point or two of my own. Yeah, he really made the right decision with that. Whoa. Thank you for watching. This was a hard game for me to stomach afterwards, and realized how bad I screwed up. I've never, I mean, not never, but it's been a long time since I've had a game like this. Thank you all for watching, and have a good evening, morning, afternoon.